This video will cover notes pages 4, 5, and 4, 6, talking about whether relationships are proportional or non-proportional. So all this means is that if you divide your two quantities and find the rate, now it does say you can find the ratio, but ratios are fractions, so rates are easier to use because you can actually divide them out. So if you find the rates of this whole table, if all of the rates are equal, so all of them are the same, then the quantities are proportional. So that's going to be your job first, is to decide whether or not the amounts, the two quantities, are proportional or non-proportional. Okay, so if you divide them and you get rates that are not equal, then we would call those quantities non-proportional. All right, so that's all it is you have to just divide them and find the rate to see if they're equal or not. So it is a little bit tricky. You need to think about what order to divide these in. So Eric and Lucy ran 20 minutes on the treadmill, and it shows how many calories they burned after each 5 minutes. So you have to think, would you say minutes per calories or calories per minute? You would say calories per minute. So you need to do your calories first and then divide by the time. So for this first one, we need to do 70 divided by 5. All right, so you don't do 5. It would still work if you did it the other way, but we need to think about what the actual label would be, and it would be calories per minute. Eric was burning 14 calories per minute. All right, so then we do that again. 140 divided by 10 is also 14. Now, you don't have to show your division in the box because that gets a little bit small, but I just want you to see where my numbers are coming from. All right, as long as you know to take the calories divided by the minutes, and that's how you get your rate. Okay, so 210 divided by 15 is also 14. So far so good. And then our last one, 280 divided by 20 is also 14. So we would say the calories burned by Eric is proportional because the rates are all the same. All right, so that's what it is you just need to make sure you divide in the correct order, and you're checking to see if all of those numbers after you divide, the rates are the same or not. All right, so now let's check Lucy. Again, you're going to take the calories divided by the time. So 45 divided by 5 is 9. 90 divided by 10 is also 9. 120 divided by 15 is 8. As soon as you get a different one, you don't have to check anymore. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write it out here just because 180 divided by 20 is also 9, but that really doesn't matter. As soon as you have one that doesn't match, you do not need to check anymore. So we would say the calories burned by Lucy is non-proportional because the rates are not all the same. All right, so again, when you have the table, you're just going to divide them and check. So, number 1, we have the number of buses and the number of students. You wouldn't say buses per students, you would say students per bus. So 24 divided by 1 is 24. 45 divided by 2 is 22.5, so no. That's all you have to do. As soon as you get two that don't match, you can just say no. Number 2, hours worked versus money. You would say dollars per hour, not hours per dollar. So as you can see, if your table is left and right, like up here, you're going to take the right one divided by the left one. If your table is up and down, like this one, or going across, you're going to take the bottom one divided by the top one. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. 72 divided by 8 is 9. 90 divided by 10 is 9. And 135 divided by 15 is also 9. So they all match. So you're going to say yes and then 9. Even though you have 9 written down all the time, you still need to do that because it says if yes, give the constant rate. So that's all. When you have tables, you're either going to have the answer of no because two things didn't match, or you're going to have yes, and then you're going to put that number that you get when you divide them all. All right. Number of tickets sold and how much money they made. So money divided by tickets. 175 divided by 25 gives me 7. 260 divided by 38 gives me 6.8-ish. Doesn't matter, they don't match, so no. Miles per gallon, not gallons per mile, miles per gallon. So 21 divided by 1 is 21. 42 divided by 2 is also 21. 63 divided by 3 is also 21. And 84 divided by 4 is also 21. So yes and 21. So far our bottom number in the table has been bigger than the top number. So when we divide, we're getting whole numbers or a decimal, but with a whole number. Now we actually have smaller numbers in the bottom, so you're going to get decimals, and that's fine. You're still going to do cost per candy bar, not candy bars per dollar, dollars per candy bar. All right, so when we do 4 divided by 5, you're going to get 0.8. 8 divided by 10 is also 0.8. 16 divided by 20 is also 0.8. 28 divided by 35 is also 0.8. So yes, and 0.8 is your constant of proportionality, or your constant rate. So it's okay that it's a decimal. All right, last one, total time divided by how many songs? 12 divided by 3 is 4. Hopefully we know 15 divided by 4 is not 4, 3.75. So that's a no. Like that, if you just know, you can just put a no right away. You don't have to show the numbers. All right, so to check whether or not they're proportional, you just divide them. Make sure you divide them in the correct order. And then if they don't match, your answer is no. If they do match, you're going to say yes, and then put that number, the rate that you get when you divide. Now, this is telling you this is a proportional relationship, so you're just going to fill out the table. So $8.50 per hour times 4 hours. That's all it is. 8.50 times 4 gives us 34. 850 times 8 would give us 68. 850 times 10 would give us 85. 850 times 14 would give us 119. That's all it is. So just take the amount that they give you per whatever and times it by the numbers in the top of the table. Number 8, the wide receiver can run 9 yards per second. So in 1 second, they would run 9 yards. 3 times 9 is 27. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 10 is 90. You guys don't know about long distance phone calls, but you used to have to pay for them. So 30 cents per minute. So you're going to take 0.3 times 5 and get $1.50. So again, take this amount times whatever's in the top of the table. 0.3 times 12 gives you $3.60. 0.3 times 24 gives you $7.20. And 0.3 times 30 gives you $9. All right, last one. There's a chart and then there's a question. So 7 homes per month that they're selling. So 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 8 is 56. And 7 times 10 is 70. Here's where you have to be careful. They want to know how many homes they will sell in 2 years. Sometimes you think, oh, that's just that on the chart. Nope, that was months. So this was per month. We need to find 2 years. So 2 years times 12 months in a year would give me 24 months. So we need to take 7 times 24 in order to get our answer. And we should get 168 homes. All right, so just be a little bit careful when they ask the question that you make sure it's in the same measurement. So we had to change years into months to make that work.